Okay, so I got the blocks all squared up. Scribed a line on them where I want the locating pins. We're gonna wipe that line out now. I've got one in each end of the vise. I'm sitting down on parallels, and I don't know if you can see down in there that little piece of sheet metal. Bent it like a kind of a flying W or flying V. I got that idea from Joe Pye. Check his channel out. Joe Piezinski. I probably butchered your name, Joe. If I did, I'm sorry if you ever see this video. Anyway, he's got some really excellent, very educational videos on machining. I've got a fly cutter in here, and what we're going to do now is make one pass over the top of these to make sure that they're both parallel, same size. You know, we're close the vise and tap them down in with the with the rubber mallet good. The old Husky dead blow hammer from Home Depot. I'm running at about 500 RPM with this fly cutter, which might be a little fast, but I'm going to slow the feed down, way down on this so we get a clean pass, and running at 5 thousandths down. What I did is I got the blocks all in there, then come down, touched with the fly cutter with the mill off, zeroed the DRO. I was just using, you know, the drill press handle on the mill, come down, touch, hit 0 on the DRO, and then we're going to take 5. This will be the first cut before we actually put the little air grooves. You know, we want small vents in the face of the mold so the air can get out of the mold as you're dumping the lead in, and that'll help eliminate voids in the cast. So let's go ahead and crank the mill on. And I'm going right down the center of this thing. On the face of these two. Wipe my gluing out. And this sucker's probably going to smoke because I probably am moving too fast with that cutter. In fact, I'm going to see if we can put this into the back gear. Oh, criminy. I don't know if that locked in or not. Pause. I think I'm in the back gear. So on this Bridgeport, when we're running in the back gear, we can actually run the motor in reverse. Be down here in low range. Got that set at 60 right now. We're gonna increase that. That's pretty slow. Let's wind that up to let's try 160. That looks pretty pretty decent. I don't know if we can feed on the power feed that slow or not. Let's see. But what I did is I came over half of my block width, which is 1.14. I don't remember, 1.1477, something like that. So we're got the power feed engaged to go to the right. Let's start increasing the speed till we get the handle to move. I think that's too slow. Let's ramp it up a little bit. About 260. Should start touching here in a second. See, this thing really struggles on these real slow feeds. We're starting to cut there. It looks like it's a pretty clean. Looks like a pretty clean cut. Now, once we get across both of these blocks, we're going to go down about, probably 0.02, and we're going to really increase the feed speed, so we just get a bunch of crosshatch marks in the block for air vents. There's not really any smoke coming off of that, just a little tiny bit as we're getting a little further into the cut, so I think we're okay as far as the speed we're cutting at and how much heat we're generating. My hope was that I could get all the way across one block and not touch it as the cutter comes off of it, and I don't know, we're not quite halfway there as far as the center of the cutter. We're getting pretty close now, so we may make it with one pass through to not touch the block, because I'd like all the vents to move up, so the air comes out. I'll illustrate that a little better once we get these cut. Don't really want to stick that cutter out of that fly cutter much further than it is, just because of the amount of flex in the tool. Yeah, it looks like we're going to make it. Pretty dang close anyhow. Sorry, I get watching the tool and not watching the camera, so. And filming this with an iPhone isn't really conducive to high quality filming like you'll see on most everybody else's channels. Yeah, so we made it all the way across without touching, with the cutter coming around the back side. So that's perfect. It's what I want to see happen. For when we cut these air grooves in there. I'm just going to go ahead and let this continue to run across these blocks, and then we'll pick it up once we get them both, faced. I just want the air grooves all uniform. So we'll let it go ahead and run the rest of the way across, and we'll pick it up there in a minute.